World War II history buffs can tell you that on May 7, 1945, German Army General Alfred Jodl signed the first German instrument of surrender in the Western Theater. But they may be hard-pressed to tell you about the pen used to sign it.
2 Parker 51s belonging to Eisenhower were used.
Enter members of the Boston Pen people.
And after the Germans were sent packing, there's a photograph of General Eisenhower holding the 2 pens up in a V for victory with his command staff behind him.
David Watts Jr. is club president, and he's very clear that in this group, all pens are not created equal.
I've been writing with fountain pens my whole life. Like a lot of kids in the 60s, I experimented with alternate lifestyles and wrote with a ball pen for a little bit in my senior year. Always written with fountain pens since.
Fellow fountain pen enthusiast Richard Binder started his obsession after inheriting his grandfather's pen in the 1970s.
The catch is the filling reservoir, which is actually a latex sac, had deteriorated and it wasn't usable. This is that pen.
Necessity is the mother of invention, and after several failed attempts to find someone to fix the reservoir, Binder, a software engineer by trade, took matters into his own hands.
I was entirely self-taught, but that actually gave me an advantage because I could approach it in a way that somebody else might not.
The result, a 20-plus year second career repairing and innovating fountain pens.
I still work on pens because there are very few people who can do what I do. It's a learned thing that I don't want it to die with me, so I teach about it as well.
Besides being colorful and cool to look at, Binder believes there is a very practical reason for using fountain pens.
Ballpoints are a primary cause of poor handwriting. You have to push down on it, and you have to be at a much higher angle, and it is a very tiring position.
Watts feels these pens are superior to keyboards as well.
There's a connection between the mind and the hand that you don't get on a keyboard. John Grisham is one, for instance, who writes all his books in longhand with a fountain pen.
Massachusetts, I think, is the first state that has reinstated a requirement that schools teach cursive handwriting. If you can't read cursive, you can't read the Declaration of Independence. You can't read the United States Constitution. With cursive, you could write them, if you were Thomas Jefferson.
At the bi-monthly gathering of Boston Pen people, Watts has noticed a shift.
We're getting more and more young people.
They're finding they need to be closer with other people and with ways of communicating and sharing with other people.
In doing so, they're also connecting with a rich history.
Now, this particular set belonged to a young woman who came from Indiana and thought she needed to serve her country. This woman happens to have been my mother-in-law. At the other end of every pen I work on is a real live human being. And that's what makes it all worthwhile for me.
You know, that photo of General Eisenhower with the 2 pens after the signing at France was almost lost to history.
Yeah, Richard says the photo was sent to Kenneth Parker, who had given Eisenhower the Parker 51 pens, hoping they'd be used to sign an important document. Realizing the significance, he locked the photo in a safe where it stayed until the company was sold. The photo was taken by life photographer Ralph Morris, one of only 2 photographers allowed at that signing.